Right. It's time here for the biggest match from the ESL regionals. It's the upper bracket semi-final. SERRAL in the left side of the map. The bottom left, I should say, going for a 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool. His opponent in the top right, a player who at times is his victim, at other times his nemesis. It is CLEM for Team Liquid in the top right of the map. Now, he's hidden his barracks, and I believe the idea here for CLEM is he wants the Overlord to come in and think that he's being proxy barracked. So he's going to hide a command center over on this base on the right, I think. Otherwise, why would you put the barracks there? Oh, he's going to hide it on the left, is he? Oh, he's going to hide it over here. Okie dokie. And he's hoping the Overlord path goes straight up the middle and doesn't see it. Now, if SERRAL's Overlord just goes slightly north and sees that command center, this trick will not work at all. But CLEM is basically trying to bait the Overlord in far enough that he can kill it with the Marines without it getting to the safety of the pillar. He might even build a third Marine. Interesting build order here for Team Liquid's CLEM to start things off. It's a big map. It's a Zerg-friendly map route set station. I'm surprised the Terrans aren't vetoing it. I'm assuming they're vetoing, because if we think of the maps we haven't been seeing, man, okay, I'll talk more about maps later. We got to talk more about the players for now, because SERRAL has been on God mode this year. Solar has been one of the few reasons that he hasn't won every single tournament. The only other reason has been Rainer at Home Story Cup, who kind of destroyed SERRAL there. Oh, thank you so much for the support. Those live on the channel. Sorry, guys. That sound effect's not meant to play as we are recording a video for YouTube, but it does, because I don't understand how the internet works. You got to remember, as someone who commentates StarCraft, a literal dead game, I am a dinosaur and does not know how technology does work. I'll stop. Anyway, Overlord sees that command center over on the left side of the map, and the trick did not work here for CLEM. He comes out with his Marines a little bit now, but definitely an odd opening for CLEM. He's gone second gas pretty early as well, into a starport. Interestingly, he's gone second gas before third command center. SERRAL going for a third hatch gasless play. And this is a very common build order on this map, and it's because, well, there's only one way in. There's no Reaper jump-in path. Queens can defend that front entrance very well. It's also a gigantic map. I mean, this map is massive. If you look at the push path, Terran has to move out there and then march through not only big, wide open spaces where they can get ambushed by Zerg at every turn, but it simply takes so long to get down to this bottom left side of the map. And with a Roach Warren on the way as well, it's going to allow SERRAL to be exceptionally safe. On this version of the map, they have removed the kind of tank area here that is on the ladder version of the map. Liberator's on the way. So Liberator Hellion opening up against Roach Tech. SERRAL has not started Ling Speed yet, but of course, he hasn't hit 100 gas yet. With a Roach Warren coming in, I can't imagine there will be Ling Speed unless he's planning something highly aggressive. Hellion's going to poke in the front. CLEM going for Stim behind it. Unlikely to see CLEM play mech at all in this series, though he does sometimes do a cheeky Cyclone opening. 3 Roaches on the way for SERRAL. The Liberator does pop out, starts to float its way down the left side of the map. Still no third command center just yet. I do wonder if CLEM builds that on location. Yes, he does. And he floats this one into his natural. How bizarre. What an interesting opening for him. Lair comes up for SERRAL very early. 4-minute 20 Lair? Ooh, okay. He might be thinking about doing some sort of bust. It could just be for Overseers if he thinks there's Banshees coming, but... Oh, look at that. Liberator kind of gets baited in there. Drones pull away at the last second. Queens get some massive damage. And the Liberator's shot down. This is actually like a trick that they do at the very highest level. They make it look like there's no anti-air nearby, and then at the moment the Liberator sieges, the Queens all come into vision and say, haha, no. CLEM does lose the Liberator. A bad start for him. Usually he's one of the best at maneuvering that thing around. Double Evolution Chamber, or eBay I should say, does get spotted behind the expansion. Extra barracks going down in that main base. And the third command center almost complete. 4 more gases for SERRAL. So he's going up to 6 gases, heading towards 66 drones. His 4th base starts up as well. The Roach is keeping those Hellions at bay. Now keep in mind, you can spread creep if you put a tumor right here, especially if you notice he mined out the minerals so that he could put this creep tumor as far forward as possible. Now I believe he can just barely spread that across that gap. He can also spread one from the high ground. This is going to get a massive advantage on his creep spread on the right side of the map, rather than other players who just only have it working on the left. It's these little details that make SERRAL so bloody good at StarCraft. Speaking of which, he swapped off Roaches. He's going Ling Speed and Aspire in a Baneley Nest. He wants to play Muta, Ling, Bane. A very good composition on this map because the bases get really spread out. It's difficult for Terran to get across such a big map. And Mutaling Bane can counterattack. They can abuse the mobility they have. And you can swarm over. When Terran tries to take a 5th base, that thing gets blasted by Banelings ever so quickly. Hellions are going to probably get it touched up there. Single SCV. Kitella's being queued up to repair those Hellions one at a time. Marine drop moving across the map. Creep spreading forward. Now, keep in mind, that is 14 Marines with Stim. We've got 5 Roaches. 20 Zerglings are being built, and it looks like Link Speed should finish about 25 seconds just after this drop comes in. This drop on the right side can be rather dangerous, but he's boosting from far away. That boost is going to finish before he gets inside, and SERRAL going to have warning of this. He actually kills the active tumor. There's still an active tumor north on that gold base. Slow Zerglings are on top. The Queen did not move over. The other Queens are not here either, but gets rid of 1 Marine and does push that back. Hellions on the left looking to dive on the 4th base. There's a few Queens there. 10 Mutalisks building right now. 4th and 5th Barracks on the way. 2nd Factory going down for CLEM. CLEM famous for forgetting his upgrades against Raynor. We'll see if he remembers his 2-2 in matchups against SERRAL. This map's just so hard to get the famous CLEM momentum going. CLEM is at his most dangerous when he's picking and poking and prodding at people. I know SERRAL goes Roaches specifically because he doesn't want to be stuck defending with Ling Bane against CLEM's disgusting Terran Micro. Oh man, Mutalisks in that mineral line. 4 SCVs, 5 SCVs already going down. SERRAL's Mutalisks have caught him with his pants down. SCV on the factory actually survives there, doesn't get focused. SERRAL not quite stacking his Mutalisks, so they weren't all shooting at once on those last few attacks, but nonetheless, 8 SCVs on the first showing of the Mutas. A very successful first wave. He could also shut down, say, the Hellions on the left, or he could group up and take out this drop in the middle of the map. 1-1 upgrades are behind the Terran, but remember, you need an armory. You need 2-2. The armory has not gone down. CLEM, very, very slow on those 2-2 upgrades, and SERRAL's already at 87 workers. Now, don't get me wrong, it's Mutiling Bane. It's not a very efficient composition if you get enough Widow Mines, a Thor or 2, maybe some Marauders out. But right now, it reigns supreme. CLEM is trapped on 3 bases with a 4th just starting. He's sending a few Marines into the main, but I think those Mutalisks can easily kill that SCV, but nice Widow Mine does take out a Mutalisk. Muta's actually pulling away. SERRAL was busy macroing, I assume. He's going to take a 5th base over on the left. His creep is still respreading on that right side. I like that he keeps putting these tumors down and trying to spread across the gap. He's been kind of dogged about that. Siege tank does go down. Nice snipe for the Mutalisks. There is a turret in the mineral line. Another one trying to build. CLEM quickly cancels it, but the SCV cannot escape. And this is a problem. Being down 20 workers, not great here for CLEM. Drilling Claws is on the way. His +2 attack and +2 armor only now started, so he did not maintain the upgrade advantage. Normally, you have 2-2 finishing soon after 1-1 finishes against Mutalisks. CLEM has not got that advantage. It's a big map. I'd normally say you're dead if you're in CLEM's shoes here, but it's CLEM versus SERRAL, and CLEM is one of the few guys who makes regular comebacks versus SERRAL. He gets under SERRAL's skin. SERRAL gets very frustrated playing against CLEM. I mean, last time we were casting SERRAL, playing him a lot on the ladder, SERRAL would get way ahead in games and then really struggle to finish CLEM off, and he'd be very frustrated with himself. He'd be saying, this game's been basically over for 20 minutes. You know, this is so stupid. And I believe a big part of that is him just being frustrated with himself. No Overseer here. Not able to kill the Widow Mine because he doesn't have the vision of it until after it fires. Okay, nice movement on these Mutalisks. One of them goes down. Pretty good micro by SERRAL, though. Keeping CLEM pinned. Gets another depot there. Does not quite manage to get the SCV on that barracks. Oh, God, he's getting cornered. He's going to try and fly out of here. The Mutalisks take out a few Marines on the way out. He's actually only lost 3 Mutalisks this game. Units lost tab is in the positive for SERRAL. Now, obviously, that won't always remain the same after contact with the enemy in a big fight. You got to keep in mind 3 more barracks building. I always say that for Mutiling Bane, the fall-off point is when they get about 6 to 7 or 8 Marauders in front with concussive, 10 Widow Mines spread behind it, a big pack of 30 or 40 Marines, and just 1 Thor. The Thor punishes the Mutalisks if they clump up because it does splash damage. The Widow Mines do crazy splash damage. The Ling Bane gets stuck, clumped up on the Marauders, where the Widow Mines also get big hits, and Ling Bane Muta falls off really hard. So at the moment where that hits in, Zerg wants to just counterattack, buy time, and get to Hive Tech units. SERRAL's already most of the way there. SERRAL's halfway to Hive. He's got his 2-2 not far behind the Terran 2-2 upgrades, and he can go into Ultralisks, which don't really care so much about Widow Mines, Thors, and Marines. So yeah, you can get your Marauder count up, you can play for a bit longer as CLEM, but Feels like SERRAL has all the necessary tools. Widowmine there, fires on a roach, does not get the kill. There are 37 banelings, 5 roaches, and 47 zerglings. Remember, there's no roach speed, so I'd actually like to see SERRAL throw these roaches away, because at the moment, they're going to offer very little in an engagement. That could be, that's 10 supply, could be 20 banelings. Instead, it's 5 roaches that might just get your units kind of stuck behind them. They can block your Lingbane collapsing on the opponent. They form like a little bit of an awkward wall. That can be very strange. Now, SERRAL, look at this. He's waiting. He doesn't want to let a planetary get up on this base. He knows that's one of the most exposed points is when Terran expands. So the Overseer over there is going to see when this base starts trying to go down. He even hides the Overseer. Nicely done. Lingbane starting to cascade to the right side of the map. Ultra Cavern, 3-3, Adrenal Glands, Neural Parasite, and of course the +2 air weapons all on the way. Now, CLEM's maxed out. He's got a few Marauders, but he's not got an upgrade advantage. It's 2-2 versus 2-2. He doesn't really have that much going for him in that regard. There is a Widowmine in the mineral line. SERRAL trades a Mutalisk to the turret to take out the Widowmine. Well worth it. Lingbane coming in on the right side. He realizes he's pinned enough units on the natural. He's going to cascade over here. Will he get enough Banelings on the planetary? There's not a lot of Zergling support. It's almost a pure Baneling roll. This is like a Ragnarok style move. He's got to click on that planetary if he wants to finish it, but he does not. That's a really sloppy trade by the look of it, and yet the units lost tab is still even. And you're going to say, well, is it that bad? Keep in mind, SERRAL was very positive with his trading up to this point. Now he's behind. So he definitely was a few thousand resources worse off, but he's been mining so much more for so long. As long as he takes a few more gases, which you can see he's just started mining these two up here. So he is on, what, 10 gas geysers. Yeah, he should be good on the gas. It's always scary if you don't have enough gas to rebuild Banelings, but Ultras, Lings, Banes all coming in. He's breaking these rocks down here. Funnily enough, these rocks do seem to be properly all interconnected in the tournament version of the ladder pool. Of the map pool, the ladder version, the rocks aren't all properly connected. Makes it a little more awkward there, but I think in this scenario, he breaks those down. He's got 5 Dropper Lords getting ready so he can drop the back as well. Drop, say, Mass Zergling behind there. It's a lot of Marines, Mines, and Thors over here. He's going to need more units on that bottom right base, and this is where Terran struggles. How the hell do you defend this base down here? Well, you got to focus your whole army on it, but that's where Ling drops, Ultra drops, and all that sort of stuff can come in and start to take advantage. Nidus Worms as well. Ultra Ling Bane coming in from the left. Got a little Ultra Baneling flank to the north of this army as well. Careful, Clem. Clem's going to get surrounded. Ultra Ling Bane coming in with a flank from the top right. Mutalisk coming in there as well. Nice hot pickup there for Clem, but I believe he's already used the boost. The Mutalisk's taking out full Medivacs right now. Good boost there behind, but he's already lost most of those Marines inside those Medivacs. That was a disaster for Clem. SERRAL with a beautiful Ultra Baneling flank. The Muta's coming in at the right time as well. Ghosts do get a couple of snipes, but units lost tab is still way too close for comfort. Clem needs to be trading 20 to 30% more efficient than SERRAL, at least. At this current level of trading, there is no way he can maintain this, because look at the units lost tab. SERRAL's already got a remax. He's going to go again, and then he'll swing up and hit your reinforcement line with Master Zergling, or he'll get a drop in the back. Either of those could do devastating damage. There are a few Widow Mines up here, by the way. Keep in mind, those Widow Mines that he's scattered everywhere, the Liberator here, all of those units aren't in the bottom right, whereas SERRAL can just grab everything, shove it down there in the bottom right. Notice he's also only got 6 queens. So a lot of players at this point, they make the mistake of having 12, 14 queens, and then you just don't have enough army supply. But 83 drones, only 6 queens. SERRAL's got a big army. He's got an Infestor there as well. The Infestor from behind! He's going to throw a Fungal out. He does lose it. Thor goes down. Ultra Ling Bane gets on top a little bit. He's got to do a hot pickup here. Does Clem, one of those Medivacs, barely surviving. But there's another Thor out in the open. And if you hot pickup, you cannot defend this base. Planetary gets wiped. And he comes down for the counterattack, snipes a few Mutalisks, snipes an Ultralisk. But it doesn't matter. SERRAL's done the business. Takes out the command center. He's reducing the mining. And Clem's bases, they're getting low. Main, mined out. He's trying to go for Liberator range right now in a second armory. Natural getting very low. Third very low. His 4th is still fresh. And he needs to float a new command center over to the 5th base. He's got to find a way of entrenching this area. I think right now the big problem is Clem needs a semi-wall over here. He needs like a few engineering bays or command centers to block this up. His natural has not been a big target for SERRAL. But look at this. SERRAL changes his mind now. Says, let's poke it. He's so focused on the bottom side. Oh, there's an empty. Oh, there's a full dropship. Deep in the red. Luckily for Clem, SERRAL did not click on it. A few Zerglings run in. Kill the SCV, putting the command center. Mutas dive back in. Get themselves a Widow Mine. More Zerglings and Ultras and Banelings in the bottom right side. 47 of those. Liberator gets picked off by the Mutalisks. Clem is trying to deal with the Mutalisks with the Liberators, but they don't have air attack upgrades just yet, and that's a problem. Lingbane Ultra coming in. Widowmine does fire on a few of those front-running Zerglings. Nice snipes on that left Ultralisk. Banelings going after the SCVs that are trying to escape, knowing these orbitals can lift up. The Banelings aren't getting the cleanest trades, but he is still trading, and that is the only important thing. SERRAL says any trade is a good trade because I am rich. I am far ahead. I can do this all day. I can do this every day. I'm still only a few thousand resources behind. My Mutalisk can keep rotating around and finding damage. I'm happy to trade a Mutalisk for a Widowmine. Normally not a good trade. Doesn't matter in this scenario. Oh, he dives on top. That's a bit of a weird choice. Does get rid of a Liberator, but he's got to be careful, man. These Liberators, even though they only do 10 damage each, it's 10 splash damage. So when you've got 7 Liberators, that's 70 splash damage. That means you can two-shot Mutalisks. I say that. That's assuming there's no armor. There is a single armor upgrade. Might change the math on that just a little bit. The Mutalisks are going to trade on the Libs, though. It's not the cleanest trade, but it's good enough for SERRAL. He's happy to take these trades. He's only down 2,000 resources. Clem desperately trying to get a 5th base, trying to spam mules on it. He's got 7 orbitals, and he is trading pretty decently. SERRAL's now making Corruptors, which tells us he is just planning to use those to kill the Liberators and the Medivacs. This is actually a new thing we've seen starting to come in with the Ultralisk style, is players... I saw someone the other day, I can't remember who it was, go 20 Corruptors with their Lingbane Ultra style, and it was awesome. It gave them so much efficiency. It's actually really, really nice. It might have been Solar who did it. And you just kill every Medivac and every Liberator in a battle. You're a little bit lower on the ground units, but you just kill all the expensive air units so nicely. Infestor does take a bit of Widowmine Splash, but it is still there, ready to drop the sneaky Fungal. He's going to try and unburrow that there. Does catch a few of the front-running Marauders. More Infestors coming in behind right now. Great EMPs for Clem, but the Orbital gets blown up by the collateral Baneling splash damage. Corruptors and Mutalisks trying to take out the Libs. There's not many more units on the ground. A few Ultras do come in from behind. The Liberators are all gone. He could hang around and actually kill those Medivacs as well, because there's only a Ghost and a few Marines. SERRAL does back off for now, but look at the units lost killed. 4 Medivacs, 17 Liberators. Those Liberators are so expensive. Each one is 150 minerals, 125 gas. They are not cheap units. Air unit's going to have to go up here to this top side. That Liberator is denying mining on this base. Not that it matters too much for SERRAL, but SERRAL should be trying to mine out these forward bases where possible, just to deny the future income of Clem. And look at that advantage in the money. 5,000 minerals always in the bank for SERRAL. He's got about 2,000 gas. This is after remaxing on Ultra Zergling Baneling. He's still got Infestors sharking around as well, and dealing with the Infestors popping up from underground as well as the Ultraling Bane. I mean, this is just a hard ask. A double Fungal from the same Infestor, and those Medivacs are getting smashed down. One of them does get away. Another Infestor coming in from the top side. Lands another Fungal, but only on a Medivac and a single Marauder. Does it matter? There is far too many Banelings. SERRAL miles ahead. Miles and miles ahead in that game from earlier on. Shut down Clem's aggression and does get himself an overwhelming and simple victory on his map choice. All right. SERRAL with a nice game on. He's going for a 15 hatchery, 15 pool opening again in the bottom right side. I'm wondering why he's doing that. He's had great success in the past against Clem, surprising him with, was it Pigfest, where he did like a 2-base Mutalisk build and that sort of stuff. He was pulling out weird builds in Pigfest before the patch came out. I do wonder if he shows that, the 2-base Roach opening at all again. Because in the last game, that was more of just a gasless 3rd base. And that is very special for Radhuset, but we'll see what he can surprise Clem with. Clem is not going for any 2-ranks Reaper shenanigans, knowing that SERRAL's one of the best. SERRAL's 15-15 tends to do very well versus it. Solar is probably the best at the hatch gas pool, shutting it down with the fast link speed. Clem's going to go down, take a 1-ranks expand, does send a worker forwards across the map. So he's going to have a little bit of a scout across the map to kind of see what's going on. We got some drones going to the natural as well. And I think about Hard Lead. This map has got to be Clem's first map pick. I feel like Oceanborn, Hard Lead. What would be the other favorite Terran maps? I feel like Alcyon we see a lot in the matchup, even though it's a Zerg pick, because I think that whole choked up Watchtower area is very strong for Terran. I'm imagining Terran are vetoing Radhuset Station a fair bit. When they don't veto that, Solaris has got to be one of the maps they don't like. I think they like Hecate. I think the Zergs probably remove Hecate due to all the choke points everywhere. What's another? Golden Aura. I think the Terrans might be vetoing Golden Aura, because that map is quite hard to attack in the big wide open areas. Now, goes in, gets an extractor trick. It's not bad. And notice he's actually mined 100 gas. So, yeah, he's not going to be doing the 2-base Roach opening off his 15-15. I think SERRAL realizes that build is not very flexible at the top level, and now that all of his players that he's playing against have experienced it before, it's not going to be as reliable. I love that the drone just tried to pick a fight with that Reaper. Man, that guy just ran towards a man with a gun waving a knife saying, yeah, you can't stop me. My chopper's going to get you good. I like to think I've been you know, watching and kind of enjoying a lot of Warhammer content recently, and I've been reminiscing on my good old days playing orcs and goblins. I do like to imagine sometimes that a drone that chooses to fight is basically just got the attitude of any orc. Just wants to get in there with his chopper and stab some stuff. He almost certainly gonna die. Not actually good at fighting, but he's gonna enjoy it because there's nothing like just chomping at the bit for a little bit of battle. Getting on in there. All right, Reaper's going to go left. How many queens we got? 3, 4, 16 Zerglings, guys. Hello? 16 Zerglings? 22 Zerglings. SERRAL? SERRAL? Okay, SERRAL does not want to play a straight-up game against CLEM. A lot of people... This can go very well or very poorly for SERRAL. But he is absolutely just trying to surprise him with a big Lynx around, either on the first Hellions or probably a big run-by, and he wants to kill all the SCVs on the natural. This is a big gamble, though, because there's a Banshee coming out. If it flies out and sees the Lynx coming in, that could be really bad. Let's go to Clem's vision. Clem has no idea this is happening. He has no idea. He's got a Marines. He's trying to deny an Overlord Scout. Hellions going to the right side. Oh, God. Oh, God. Those Lynx could be coming in at any moment right now. We know they're gathering. They're coming in. He sees it. He sees it immediately. He's going to stack his SCVs. His Hellion comes out. Then he realizes, wait a second. We need to run back to the main base. The Hellions, one of them gets surrounded. That's very bad. He has a Banshee. The Hellion in the choke point is putting up a very good account of itself. We're watching this from Clem's point of view. He's already lost 2 SCVs. That's not as bad as it could be. Nice SCV micro in the mineral line. Let's go back to everyone's camera. He just shut that down. He lost 2 SCVs and a Hellion. Oh my God. I mean, don't get me wrong. He happened to be looking at his natural, starting his depot wall off at the moment that it came in. But still, SERRAL is going to be pretty unhappy, shaking his head, no doubt. That is not what he was looking for. His Spore Crawler is not down on his third yet. Cloak's almost done. He needs to start a Spore Crawler in that third right now. SERRAL is being disgustingly greedy. He's so worried about the Hellions right now. Oh, dude, if those Hellions ran in, they could have killed a lot of stuff. All the queens are out front. There was only a handful of Zerglings. He's almost lucky that Clem's being so passive. Cloak is now done here for the Banshee. It is not flying in. SERRAL has left his third mineral line wide open. Clem is not going after the drones. He's assuming there's a Spore Crawler in the mineral line. SERRAL getting away with murder right now. Clem has been put in a defensive mindset after the Ling Flood. And look at this. The queens are happy. They're like, I will sacrifice these queens as long as I don't lose all my drones. Now, as the Hellions come in, okay, now the drones do start to go down a little bit. Good transfuse there at the last second. Does save the queen. Another transfuse as well. And Clem's like, wait a second. There was no Spore Crawler this whole time. Ends up getting very good damage anyway, but that could have been so much more. So I wouldn't say SERRAL gets away with murder, but he gets away with a light sentence. Let's put it that way. He said, "Oh no, it was just an unintentional assault charge. It resulted in those drones being left alone. You know, kind of put his drones in the microwave. Bit of criminal negligence, I guess." Banshee's moving around the right side. 20 drones in the main. He's got 70 workers, does SERRAL. If you can get rid of these Hellions, that'd be nice, because we know that Stim, Marines, and Medevacs will be coming out momentarily. That being said, Medevacs haven't started yet. Clem? Yeah, he might actually be letting SERRAL get away with murder. Guys, look at SERRAL's creep spread on the map. Yes, the Banshees are being annoying, but look, the drones pull away. They get 3 more workers. That's nice. It's not that nice. Look at the creep spread. And also, you would say, okay, but SERRAL doesn't have any army. He's being too greedy. Yeah, he has. Where are the Medevacs? It's almost 7 minutes right now. The Medevacs are only halfway built. We're not going to have any Medevac Marine stim pressure until about 8 minutes, maybe 7:40, something like that. He needs to boost these Medevacs out, send these Marines and tank forward. He's got to slow down the creep spread because SERRAL is on 75 workers after a failed Ling Flood. Now, don't get me wrong. It wasn't the most committed Ling Flood. It's not like he did this off 15, 20 workers, but it still was a very bad trade for him. And not only in the cost for cost, which as you can see is bad for SERRAL so far, but also in the fact that he sacrificed building drones in the early stage. So it's not just the cost for cost you look at in those scenarios, it's Zerg has handicapped their economy and desperately needs to do damage. So you don't just look at raw efficiency in those scenarios. 1-1 upgrades on the way. 1-1 for Terran will be finishing in about 15 seconds. Combat shields won't be ready for this timing, but he's going to put a tank down here. Or actually, he's going to put it... Okay, yeah, down there is probably the best spot. Nice. Pretty good reach on that. Does he have a scan available? Looks like he doesn't have energy. There we go. No banelings. The Zerglings cannot fight this. He's got a few speed banes. Okay, good pullback. I like the pullback. The transfuses are really nice for SERRAL. He's already lost 2 queens in this game. He's got to be very cautious. He's got 10 queens, though. He has been rebuilding them. Oh, he's got a big Ling flank coming around the left. Hellbat's guarding the tanks. I like the split on the Zerglings on the bottom, but only a few Lings got on that southern tank anyway. Up top, looks like the Marines do pick up. The siege tank does go down. Good cleanup there for SERRAL. You can't let this sort of pressure hang around for too long. 4th base is building right now for CLEM. CLEM's 2-2 has not started. CLEM are not starting 2-2. Name a more iconic duo. And you know, there is part of that is on purpose. Don't get me wrong. I always point this out. And it's not like I'm saying, oh, he's an idiot who just screws up this basic thing. He makes the choice to commit to the momentum instead. He says, I want to be in your face doing damage. I will sacrifice a little bit of time on my upgrades to be kicking your butt right now and getting that momentum going. Queens are moving north. There's already 2 queens here. He cannot go in there. Clem. Watch out. SERRAL's in position. These Marine drops have to hide on the right side. They'll have to boost out in a little bit. He's going to try and exert some pressure on the left, get SERRAL out of position, and escape with those medevacs. More units going down the right and the far left. Pretty good creep control right now for SERRAL, but he's not in position for this one. 5 drones, saves the Marines, pulls back. Great trade for Clem. Clem's 4th base floating out the right side. He's building a 6th and 7th barracks right now. Accidentally didn't build an 8th one. Normally you'd go up to 8 barracks, but 7 will do. It'll allow him to get some concussive here. He's still only... Actually, he's got 2 factories as well. We'll see if siege tanks get mixed in. I do love the tank bio mine style. One of my favorites. But for him, he's just going to be going drilling claws in the near future, I would imagine. 5 starts up for SERRAL. The medevac in the backside does go down there. Widowmine drop, not able to find any big damage. This attack moves in on the left. Clem's trading is pretty good. Almost 2-1 right now. Does he have enough space in those medevacs? He's got to pick up. Dude, those banelings are right on top. Clem waits to the very last second. Does sacrifice quite a few Marines for it. Is it worth those extra shots he was doing? Baneling drop comes in for SERRAL. Oh! Oh my lord, SERRAL. 12 SCVs. That is way bigger than losing a few Lings and Banes to some micro on the other side of the map. That being said, Clem will not relent on the aggression. He has remembered to start his +2 attack as well, so he's not too far off on those upgrades. Ling Bane coming forward. That Widowmine did fire, as did that one, but neither of them landing the big money shot that he's looking for. And if SERRAL can find the moment to kind of get some counter aggression on, like that Baneling drop was great. If he could do some more stuff like that, that'd be fantastic. He's going to do a Zergling drop into the main mineral line. Anything like this to pull Clem's attention away could be massive. I would also love to see SERRAL just rolling in attacks on the front, because right now, he is letting that base be defended by just 2 Widowmines and nothing else. Good spready there for SERRAL. I'd love to see a few of those Banelings split onto these Widowmines. Overseer does go down. He needs a few new Overseers, and he is immediately morphing them on this right side. 84 workers versus 73. Hive is done, but he hasn't used it just yet. Oh, Widowmines are all over the shop right now. Army is over there. Zergling drop in the main ends up getting burrowed on location. Ling Bane denies the watchtower. These watchtowers very important for side control on these maps. Oh, the Marines there doing pretty well. He focuses down the Overseers. That's a cute move. He's making it really frustrating. Now, if SERRAL doesn't rebuild those, these Widowmines will survive. Clem being a nuisance. 2 Vipers, 3-3 on the way. Adrenal Glands does start as well. Good focus on all the important upgrades, but there's no Hydras, there's no Ultras. It's just Ling Bane Viper, which is not a bad army, but it's also not going to, you know, absolutely smash everything either. 5 or 6 SCVs going down to those Zerglings. Nice moves by SERRAL. Just little pinpricks to pull a little bit of Clem's attention away. Clem has not started 3-3. SERRAL has. Yes, Clem's adding command centers in a Ghost Academy, but I feel like in these games he forgets his 2-2 and 3-3 for such a long time. It does start to stack up the longer the game goes. That being said, Zerg map control is at an all-time low for this match. This gives Clem big opportunities to make those plays that he needs. Got a big bio mine spread. There's also Marauders in the mix. He doesn't have concussive for them, but even just having 3 or 4 Marauders are very tanky units. You move those Banelings, they will not get good hits. Widowmine does hit a bunch of the medevacs there. It's a lot of Zerglings jumping on top. Nice stutter step here for Clem. The Banshee does survive. The bio survives. SERRAL not quite able to overwhelm. Mass Queen is here, and remember, Mass Queen, not the best units in a frontal fight against Mass Bio. Their damage output kind of sucks. Parasitic bombs go out. SERRAL spamming transfuses, buying time to rebuild Mass Ling Bane. The Mass Medevac just healing right through their damage, though. Oh, the Widowmine gets a big hit over there. Parasitic bombs have peppered the Medevacs, but they haven't really overwhelmed it just yet. He needs to get rid of this position. SERRAL needs to get him out of this side of the map. Looks like on the left side, Zergling Runby went in, killed 4 SCVs, forced to transfer. He could unburrow and do more damage. There's a lot of units nearby. SERRAL not utilizing that right now. Banshee goes to the bottom left, starts doing damage over there. Mineral Line is still in jeopardy. Ultra Cavern now only just starts. And this is where you need Infestors or Ultras, something that you can A-move over this a bit easier to get some value. Ling Bane struggles, and that Widowmine never got cleaned up after the previous attack, and it's going to be a problem! Oh my god, is it a problem? It's up to 32 kills. Unburrow in the Mineral Line, great, but Clem is so quick at running those workers out of there. His queen count has been gone. SERRAL's anti-air is gone, which means Liberators could start to cause problems as well. The Zerglings starting to burrow as they do get cleaned up by the rally. Queen's going to the bottom left side. They'll finally deal with the Banshee. The Liberator there is an issue, though. The right side is just Lingbane Viper, and there's not that much Lingbane Viper. The trading is insane, and AMP lands on the Vipers. And he is right now trading at a massive advantage. He's lost 14,000. SERRAL's lost over 21,000 resources. He gets a big fungal, but it's a desperate fungal because the Infestor was about to die. He doesn't have the Banelings to capitalize. He doesn't have the second fungal. Clem picks up and says, lol, get wrecked. Haven't you heard about Terran Recall? It's called just picking up, pulling back, letting your shields regen, aka Medevacs. Get wrecked, you silly Zerg player. SERRAL throws out another fungal. The Banelings do start to roll forwards. Clem's micro, indomitable. You cannot let Clem pin you on the defense like this. We've talked about this for years, that if Clem has you pinned defensively, he will just tee off. He will just tee off. He'll be any counter-strike you try and throw, he will duck it, he will slip it, and he will keep on landing those just thundering elbows to your face. And when you're on the defense, you need to find a way to get the attention back on his foot. You got to find a way to do that. When the numbers are like this, I don't know how you do that. SERRAL's up 2 upgrades, but he's losing the fights despite that. That was a great Widowmine for SERRAL, dragging it into the Medevacs. Parasitic bombs kill a few more. SERRAL's like, just give me a minute to remax, mate. But Clem is the one on 6 bases. Clem is the one on 80 workers. SERRAL may be on 6 bases as well in a similar worker count, but he's pressed up against the wall, and the Widowmines are hammering him. The non-stop Widowmine production for Clem, hats off to him. A lot of Terrans let the Widowmine count whittle down. Clem is just always replacing these Widowmines. He's lost a lot. He's lost 31 Widowmines this game. He's still got 19 on the map. That's a factory that has been pumping them non-stop. Not to mention the Tech Lab factory. He never made drilling claws. His 3-3 is still not done. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Pig. Am I behind on upgrades? Who cares? It doesn't matter that I'm behind on upgrades because there's nothing that really matters for. Finally, something like Ultras are here on the field. Lurkers or Ultras would have been amazing units to come out earlier and may have been a better decision in hindsight for SERRAL. But oh my god, those Widowmines actually did a lot of counter damage. Dude, SERRAL might actually be able to hold on and turn this around. He needs an Overseer. He needs to clean up as many Widowmines as he can. But the way Clem does this fighting retreat, he picks up, he drops, you think, oh, he's abandoned this position. No, he immediately drops and starts sniping you. Infestor from the right side does get a single Ghost and a Cyclone, not quite as much as he would have liked. These Widowmines are starting to stack up pretty decent trades here and there. The Ultras are cleaning him up. Viper's coming forward. Man, if he had some Hydras or Corruptors, he could start doing some really good stuff. He wants to throw another Parasitic Bomb to really seal the deal on those Medevacs. He can't quite do it. SERRAL may actually get this game back in his favor. The upgrades, I guess, were a big part in him surviving. There are Burrowed Banelings, but they're on the far right side of that ramp. Bit of an awkward spot. Unlikely they'll be going off. SERRAL's economy, not great. He's got a Spore Crawler here. He's going to send some Zerglings in. And there we go. Nice hold position micro to lure that one away. Cleans it up, regains control. But of course, his creep is non-existent. He's only got 5 queens. But with 5 Vipers and 2 Infestors, he has a lot of spellcaster utility. As long as SERRAL keeps his Ultralisk count up, then he'll be good. But he's only on 3 Ultras right now. Clem, on the other hand, has got 3-3. He's got Drilling Claws on the way, finally. He's got Ghosts starting to mix in. Well, no Ghosts on the field right now, but he is building them. +2 vehicle plating, a second starport coming in as well. So Liberator count will be growing. Infestor to the north and an Infestor here. He's also got something over there to the left as well. I guess it's those Burrowed Banelings on the ramp. Oh, dude, the Fungal Parasitic Bomb and the Medevacs could be good, but good split from Clem. Parasitic Bomb was not quick enough to immediately capitalize. I do like these Parasitic Bombs, but remember, they are slow long-term value. They're not quick, immediate, damaging, impacting value. And Clem right now, he's in your face. He's got his foot on the accelerator, and he's saying, War Boys, let's go! Shiny and Chrome to Valhalla. He doesn't care about diving into a bunch of goddamn giant friggin' bugs in their own biomass. He's right now walking onto the dirty red carpet of Zerg, and he does not care. He will keep picking up. He trusts in those medevacs to save him at the 11th hour. Watch out for the Infestor from behind, though. That Infestor could land a game-ending fungal. Ultra on the left does get pushed back. These units here, SERRAL's waiting for it. He's looking for it. He's gonna go. He's gonna go. He's gonna go. He can't resist. Now's the time! Parasitic Bomb Fungal Wombo Combo! CLEM will save some of those units. Can you believe it? But so many units get hammered. SERRAL is broke, though. He's going to blow up the planetary, but CLEM's counterattack will be brutal. Look at this. CLEM's getting snipes on the Ultras. CLEM's cleaning this army up. This is dangerous for SERRAL. As powerful as this looks, this may be an overextension. SERRAL does not have the money to back this up. He's got a base in the bottom left. He's got a base over on the right. Yes, he just whittled down CLEM's income a bit, but there's still Widow Mines everywhere, Liberators everywhere. He's still down 30 army supply. He has to give up this base on the right. Luckily, he's got this base in the middle, so he's got two fresh bases, two freshies. Burrowed Zergling on the left there, denying the base, but only momentarily. Oh, Widow Mine got a pretty big hit. He does take out a few of these parasitic bombs. The problem is it takes 2 full parasitic bombs to kill a Viper. You can see SERRAL's not really gathering energy right now. He's got to give this base up on the right. He realizes it. He's going to fall back. He needs new Infestors. CLEM will not let up the momentum. Yes, he kind of has to take a breather for a second, but that's only because he denied this base. That drone hiding will pop up and try to take this later. For now, Ling's Interceptor, Ghost, and a Widow Mine in the middle of the map. Great plays by SERRAL. These Burrowed Banelings I'd love to see shift into the middle of the ramp if he gets the time to do that. More Ultras on the way right now. CLEM, for all intents and purposes, was dominating SERRAL and in an almost winning position. And SERRAL, with his crisp upgrades and his fantastic Burrowed Infestor usage, has really made a game out of this. This is something which 2 years ago, SERRAL was one of the few players who was an expert at mixing Burrowed Infestors into the late game in the Turtle games and setting up these sort of fungal maneuvers. And I remember a lot of players were like, oh, you don't need to do that. You can just win by smashing Banelings into planetaries. And I was like, yeah, but the efficiency of this move is insane. And if you're developing a talent for taking insanely positive engagements, you will become a much better StarCraft player. And that skill that SERRAL invested in 2 years ago and he has built experience with puts him at an entirely another level of Infestor ambushes to pretty much any other Zerg out there. Even Dark. Yes, even Dark. The guy who claims he's the best spellcaster in the world. Self-proclaimed. And I can't say he's far off. And probably is against Protoss, but against Terran, man, SERRAL is just insanely good at it. Oh, Widow Mine there. Gotta watch out. SERRAL, SERRAL, SERRAL! SERRAL not watching. Does throw a Parasitic Bomb. He'd like to throw some more, but he needs Corruptors. So with this army, guys, Vipers are slow damage against Libs, but if you don't have Corruptors, you can't actually kill them, and that's the problem. Lings do deny the top right base, though. He gets rid of 15, 16, 17 workers. That is massive. And whenever he catches CLEM on siege, he can kind of overrun the ground army, but you see he's out of Viper energy right now. He needs Corruptors. If you don't have Corruptors, you cannot deal with the late game Liberator transition. And I think that's actually going to do him in, guys, because he's just not making the adjustment. He's saying, no, I'll beat it with Vipers, maybe use a few Queens when he comes on creep. That's not going to cut the mustard. A few more SCVs do go down. CLEM's economy has taken a beating, but CLEM does have 7 orbitals. He's got that Iron Bank. He's looking pretty good. CLEM just killed his own Marauder there. I guess he was a traitor. Maybe he thought the Marauder was a Changeling. For those who don't know, Changelings are always Marines, Zealots, or Zerglings. They do not look like a Marauder ever. But you know what? CLEM's a very suspicious guy, like any true Terran. Ultras, Lings, Banes, Queens coming forward. There's a lot of Liberators sieged up. Dude, SERRAL, he's got a very scary, good-looking engagement. But those Libs are stacking up value. And that's the problem. He's not building a Spire. This is actually a huge problem. He literally just cannot beat this army without Corruptors. Hydras you could argue for, but even Hydras are going to have to walk through those Lib zones. Even without Lib range or ship weapon upgrades, this is actually absolutely necessary. Oh, that reactive split! Oh, SERRAL! He's cleaning up the minefield. This is very arduous work. It is thankless work. His Lings and Overseer do get caught by a bunch of bio, and they get chased into some other Widow Mines, though. Youchies. Does try to clean up one more Widow Mine, not able to get it. On the left side, the Marine Marauders over there. A few Ultras are ready to deal with it. On this right side, oh, he dives on the Infestor! CLEM, you nasty guy! Gets that Infestor down before it can land any spells. There's only 2 Infestors on the map, and those units have been kind of the game winners for SERRAL. I say game winners, he's not max. CLEM is. CLEM obviously is ahead in the momentum. Concussive has been forgotten this entire time. He's only now making it. I mean, I know it doesn't affect Ultras, but still, definitely would have helped against the Ling Bane throughout this game. Liberator Biomine push on the right. With no Corruptors, he simply cannot trade. Liberator on the left, Liberator on the right. SERRAL has to fight this. He comes in with an Infestor. Fungal from behind. Doesn't quite have the energy for another Infestor. Fungal does burrow it at least to recycle, but fighting in live zones does not go well for Ultras. And this looks like, yeah, the lack of anti-air is going to be a problem. It's hard to afford Aspiring Corruptors under this much pressure, but if you don't have them, that Liberator transition is spectacular. It is splendid. And SERRAL, I mean, he almost made an amazing comeback there, but CLEM with a very nice Liberator transition managed to stay solid, and despite getting hit by a few good Fungals, finished it off really nicely. Well played by CLEM. All right, going into the next game, CLEM in the bottom left managed to hang on to that one. Just creating more minefields than SERRAL could really clean up. And that's the momentum of Zerg vs Terran. This is a more normal 16 hatchery, by the way, hatch gas pool build for SERRAL. But yeah, he's basically constantly stimming bio in from all sides, stutter stepping back, picking off units, picking up into the medevacs, unloading, doing it again. And because SERRAL's so busy responding to that in 2 places at once, it's very hard to do that and also go around with another squad cleaning up Widow Mines that he's left everywhere. And I think CLEM was just so good at replacing those Widow Mines. And don't get me wrong, I mean, CLEM definitely can do better at remembering his 2-2 and concussive shells. I feel he forgets it so frequently that it's actually a big problem. And we'll see what happens. SCV's going to scout across. We'll find out in a moment exactly what both sides have planned. A quick link speed for SERRAL. So he wanted to be very safe in case this was like a 2-Rex Reaper play, but he sees no Reaper wall off. And Factory goes down. We haven't seen a second gas yet, which tells us that CLEM is going to play 3 Command Center. You can already see he's rallied this SCV to build it. Reaper's going to come in and have a little bit of a poker round. Going to start trying to pick away at those drones. Okie dokie. Goes after the Zerglings. I love how at pro level they always go for the Zerglings, not the drones. He's like, that's the real money. It's that 25 little mineral boy over there. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, SERRAL may have messed up. He loses it. Nice play there by CLEM. The real trick you need with the discipline with the Reaper, guys, is because it has 2 attacks, you can accidentally, when it starts shooting, if you move it too quickly, it'll only do the first 4 damage attack. It won't do the second one. So I see a lot of players, myself as well, when I get too excited, we'll like click the creep tumor and then we'll quickly move and then click it again. And we'll get only single 4 damage attacks off. We'll go, why didn't it die? What the hell? But CLEM, he really knows the timing just right to make sure he gets the second pistol shot off with the Reaper, because it goes bang, bang. And then he moves it. It's a small thing that a lot of people don't necessarily pick up on. Mule drops on the high ground here, and he runs his SCVs away. Reaper's going to come back. Hellions are almost here. Going to try and defend that SCV on the command center. It floats to safety temporarily. The Lings could scoop in and still try to get it. Hellions are coming out now. Oh, he's going for it. But the SCV just... Oh, SERRAL couldn't quite click it. Oh, he couldn't click on it. Oh, he misclicked. That's a bummer. Either way, nice little scout fam. Sees its 3 command center. Doesn't really know what the starport's doing in the aftermath. But a couple Zerglings there. That's all he's traded for that. 2 mineral lines full. He's back on gas on that third, and now rallying to the third base. 4 queens are out with 3 more on the way. So he's going to be up to 7 queens by about 4 minutes and 15 seconds in this game, which will give him plenty of time to gather up transfuse energy. Oh my god, that queen, she gets bounced to a terrible position. What? SERRAL, protect. He's got to, if I were him, I might send that queen to the back. You know, bring the other queens out and put her a bit further back. Looks like he's going to keep her up front for now. Roach Warren's on the way for SERRAL. I don't think he wants to let CLEM get too much momentum. I know in SERRAL's experience, he tries to play Ling Bane versus CLEM. But a lot of their series over the last year, he loses almost every game he plays Ling Bane versus CLEM. It's just hard to face off against his micro. And Roach Ravager, for whatever reason, allows SERRAL to control that early game a little bit more, slow down the Ling Bane trades. And I think he's getting to this point where he's like, try Ling Bane, lose. Win with Roaches again, try Ling Bane, lose. And he's like, okay, I guess we'll do some more Roaches or some more tricky surprise fast Mutalisk builds, but playing a very standard Ling Bane game, tough against the Frenchman. Well worth tanking a few shots with the Queen. Notice he takes 2 shots to avoid the drones dying. Gets maximum damage on the Liberator. Really well done there by SERRAL. Liberator's not finding the mark in this series so far. Sieges it up over there to try and deny the 4th base being taken, but it's actually the gold base that's already on the way for SERRAL, and I don't think CLEM knows about this. Yeah, so CLEM thinks he's denying this base. He's like, haha, You're not going to attack into that. That would be silly. The Queens could run down there, use a transfuse, and bust the Liberator, but now he finds that the hatchery's been taken. He's going to pull back. His Hellions are trapped on the wrong side of the map. They've got no way out unless they break these 400 hit point rocks over here. Double engineering bays on the way. Second and third barracks is up on their reactors. That's funny because I do a build like this, and if I start my medevacs by 6:15, I feel like I've done the build pretty well. Clem, pretty damn good at starting those medevacs smack bang on 6 minutes. He's got the reactor finished. Why are medevacs important, you might wonder? Well, basically, you want to have a good section of somewhere between 10 and 16 Marines. You want stim, and you want 2 medevacs, because that's when you can start doing the kind of stim Marines, really aggressively clearing creep, killing any queens that are left out, that sort of thing. There's a hive infestation pit already on the way, so Serral's planning to go hive very quickly after these early roaches. Remember that the Liberator survived. He hasn't actually repaired it, but normally he'll send an SCV to repair that and then queue it back to mining and use that Liberator for later harass. Serral has the gold base fully mining. 3,200 minerals a minute against 2,800 for Clem, including mule mining. You can see now that Liberator is getting mined or repaired up by that single SCV and will be back into the action in the near future. 4th and 5th barracks building their reactors. This game's been a bit more static and very quick third gases and stuff. So yeah, this is the sort of game where getting the armory on time, and he's actually built that at the perfect moment. So he can start 2-2 the second 1-1 finishes. I love seeing this attention to detail. Clem, yes, when he's attacking non-stop, he forgets the upgrades, but the moment he's playing a bit more of a controlled, calm, cool game, you can see he's very capable of slowing things down. Marines stimming on the left. They get a queen. Pulls back to the watchtower safety. Hellion's going to try to go in, but the roaches are on top of him. Easy defense there for Serral. Hive's halfway done, and Vipers, adrenal glands, all that stuff will be on the way. We've got a Baneling nest on the way, or Baneling speed, I should say. Roaches and the Ravagers trying to push the Marines off the watchtower, and a 4th command center starts up for Clem. This one looks like it could go to the late game. Ooh, Queens coming in from both sides. Nice pullbacks. Once again, tanks a few shots to get maximum damage. And that Liberator, there's no way that Liberator gets out of it. He's given up on it. Hellions try to run in here. He's going to sacrifice them for 2 drones. I mean, those would have been better off as Hellbats later on. Clem's like, let me get some damage, man. And Serral's like, dude, no way. Serral's got a good 78 worker economy. He's got Vipers on the way. 2 adrenal glands. Serral's all over this game. That gold base has been uninterrupted. Clem is now pushing with all of his Marines. But he needs to turtle. Clem basically needs to play late game and just turtle it out. Now, it just doesn't feel like he could really contest this. He sees the Ultra Cavern starting, so he knows that that's an issue. 3 more barracks are just now starting. Oof. Yeah. He's going to try and multi-prong this. We have seen him get crazy damage with this sort of pressure in the past. 4 medevacs on the left, 2 on the right. Plenty of Roachlings split to both sides. Oh, Baneling run by gets 7 SCVs. Well worth it. That SCV just got swung. He basically got exploded and went spinning and just flew off over here into the power plant. I don't know what this is over here. Oh, this is a gun shop, but by the way, guys, there's like you buy some ghost armor. There's guns here. Oh, this is badass. Double meta. Wait, where'd the Marines go, guys? Oh my god, did he just lose all the Marines in those medevacs? Pretty sure those medevacs I saw heading to the right side, they were full. They're now empty. Gets a few Banelings. Finally, some value. Clem needs this value, man. He's not doing well in this game. It's been even in the units lost tab. Finally gets himself a very slight edge. He needs more than a slight edge in the units lost. Serral's been on a gold base for 4 minutes now, and you've got to do something about it. Focusing down a lot of the Banelings. Serral's got to stop gifting him too many kills. Got to be careful with that. But Serral is now on 6 bases, including this one that's coming up in the bottom right. The Ling Bane count getting out of control. 2-2 is finishing at the same time as the Terran one. Liberator comes forward. Oh, Marines actually get rid of one of the Vipers. Slight mess up there for Serral. He's going to throw a parasitic bomb and back off. Clem should be quick on the split. Indeed he is. Kindness plating's on the way. Cyclone building, guys. That is a misclick if I've ever seen one. There is 0 reason to be building a Cyclone at this stage of the game. One of the worst units you could be building. Marauders are starting. Now, it is funny to me. Clem always forgets to start Concussive with his Marauder production. I feel like those two things should go hand in hand. Start Marauders, start Concussive Shells. But, been forgetting it quite a lot. Ghost Academy's on the way, 2 more command centers. I've seen Zergs dismantling a lot of Terrans in late game on this map, but that's been like solar Zergs. I've seen Dark way ahead on this map versus Clem, and Clem come back. And Dark's pretty damn good in the late game, so definitely something where Clem has some opportunities, even though he is behind on the momentum in this game. Nice spread on the Lings. Only gets 1 siege tank, almost got the second one. Third one just below half-life. Breaking rocks is really necessary. So SERRAL should be breaking all of these rocks. This map, you do not want these rocks everywhere. They obstruct everything. You should be breaking these ones on the right, these ones in the middle of the map. Letting all these obstacles survive is good for Terran. Now, interestingly, this is where as a Terran, you need to basically just cement this position and start expanding here, because you get 2 bases from the 1 position on the right. If he tries to take the rich gas base, he's literally giving free kills to SERRAL. And you'll hear me, of course, talk about how bad that is over the last few years. You cannot give them an easy attack angle. Now, the factories are pumping only no units right now. No more siege tanks in production. Where is the second factory? It's out here with the tech lab. Ling Bane jumps top of those Marines over there. We got, Roaches coming in from there. Ling's coming from behind and clean up those tanks that were damaged in the previous wave. Viper's throwing out parasitic bombs. Medevac's taking big energy. A little bit slow on the spready there is. Clem does take a fair bit of beating, finally getting those Medevacs spread out. Looks like on the right side, maybe a Liberator Harass went in or something like that. There is a Spore Crawler there. No kills just yet. Zergling gets cleaned up on this base. Okay, so Clem's going out to base 5. He's decided a few tanks, a Liberator, a Planetary going to be enough here. Getting a few more buildings to choke this up would be really nice as well. But of course, he's only just maxed out. He doesn't have that much money to spare. Starting to kind of choke up areas with orbital commands can add dividends later on in the game. He's got a good Marauder count now. Still no concussive shells. 3-3 will finish up for both players in the next 20 to 30 seconds. Bio's going to start trying to kite here. Liberators are behind it. He can abduct all those Liberators out of siege mode. He's going to go for the parasitic bombs instead. Ooh, good stutter step, but where's the artillery? Where are the tanks? There's not enough libs behind this. The Ling Bane's going to keep cascading up onto that high ground. They're not getting great trades, but they are landing hits, even getting in the mineral line and killing a few SCVs there. Planetary does finish, and that base should survive. Looks like the Liberator goes down to a corrosive bile. Baneling's burrowing in the mineral line. He does scan that, take it out. There is still that siege tank on the high ground. Sergeant Shadhammer in reserve. She's got orders to stay on the high ground all game long. I wouldn't mind her moving down here. I feel like having tanks around this area, it's really nice because it kind of covers you on multiple bases as a fallback point. Now, SERRAL should be going Greatest Buyer in the near future. I don't think he's done that. But I guess there's not enough tanks to really warrant him feeling like he needs to do it just yet. He's still got a lot of Roaches and some Rabbits. Oh, great Fungal. Great Fungal. Catching a lot of those Terran units. And it's still pretty much even in the units lost tab. We've talked many times over the last week about how you need to be a 20 to 30% more efficient. You can get 50%. That's great. Baneling's coming in. Great. Blinding Clouds. Great. Blinding Clouds. Oh, Planetary's going to go down. SERRAL pulls back most of the units, gets a bunch of these workers as well. These are the sort of trades you have to make costly. You've got to make the Zerg pay for these, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there's no defense here. There's just a Liberator and a Planetary. Spread the boys, spread the boys, spread the boys! The SCVs, you do not want to lose all those SCVs. The command center cannot lift off. It's a Planetary. Oof. Big hits going down. Clem needs to keep his army split. But you know it's Clem, and I can sense what he's about to do, guys. He's going to counterattack. Clem, usually unable to contain himself. You know, he's got to keep this one angle, like I said, choked up as much as he can to scare the enemy off. And most of your army needs to be centered around this little bit of high ground. Keep those minerals there, because that's really awkward for Zerg to engage into. But don't be counterattacking on creep right now. No, you need time to remax. You've just been investing in command centers. He's got to pull back, but I think SERRAL might have too much momentum. That early gold base, giving him a big boost, and he's really starting to run away with things. The Marauders, the Marines, and the Ghosts pulling back right now. The Ling Bane Ultra Roach rolling in on this base. The Marauders trying to pull back over there on the left. Nice micro backwards. Parasitic Bomb gets split against. I mean, SERRAL is causing problems, but Clem is microing the best he possibly can against this. He just doesn't have the numbers, dude. Shadhammer's on the high ground. She tries to protect the Drilly Boys on the low ground. She's up to 32 kills. But it ain't going to really achieve that much. The Liberator and the command center down here. It looks like the Planetary got cancelled at some point. And even more biles going down on those Liberators. Gets a kill. There's just no coming back from this. Massling Bane Ultra coming out. Serral's income has been untouched. Liberator Harass is going to try to fly in and do something to slow him down. He's got a Liberator on the right side as well. Looks like Clem did afford lib range, but that Spore Crawler, I think, is just barely... No, it's out of range. All right, some nice Liberator usage here. He's going to harass multiple expansions at once. Serral's going to start losing some drones. Pulls his drones away from that one and that base. And he's going to attack the front. Pops up from the underground. Fungal on the Marauders. Lings force the lift. This command center will not be allowed to mine. The Lings so quick, so efficient. They don't care about engaging in lib zones. Banelings on the left as well. Good night, sweet planetary. Doesn't matter if you have building armor, mate. Those are +3 Adrenal Zerglings. Serral overwhelming there on Alcyon. And Clem cannot let himself get that far behind. Not against the big dog. All right. Well, I thought this map would be vetoed. Apparently not. Oceanborn in the bottom right side of the map. We've got Clem going for the low ground. What appears to be actually not the 2-Rax Reaper build. This is a gas first opening. So this is a Reaper into quick Hellion. Maybe a Hellion Cyclone opening for him. Serral in the top left side going for a 15 hatchery. Into another Extractor Trick, an Overlord, and then a 15 spawning pool. Oh, minute and 2 seconds. I didn't even know you could get the spawning pool before a minute and 3 seconds. Serral perfectly doubling his workers up on the close patches. Really nice play by him. And you can see these drones, he'll manually put them on that patch there as well. And he'll take a gas in a moment with the third one. So, there we go. Look at the way he micros these drones onto that patch to make sure. Now he's got perfect 16 mining, 2 on every patch. That one takes the gas. He'll rally this drone onto one of these patches to triple up. So notice, yeah, he puts it on one of the patches that's a little bit further away that has space for a third drone to get a bit of mining on it. And then he says, you know what, actually, let's go down here with my drone to the natural. What's he? He's checking for a bunker down here or something. That's interesting. And he goes to the natural so early. Fascinating. Just 2 workers on gas for now, but he is going to rally a third into it. Interesting. So he just wanted to get his mineral mining on the natural as quick as possible. Reaper into factory. Because you go straight factory, then reactor, you don't have a marine. The wall off allows this to be safe against, say, a spawning pool first. Yet despite that, he's still scouted. So Clem's still looking for the disruption. Is he going to proxy starport maybe? Because the idea here is, like, the SCV, when it runs back, it's already on the other side of the map. So once you leave Overlord vision, you can divert it and proxy a starport if you want to, without giving away that you're proxying a starport. Reaper comes in, doesn't really get any damage, just backs away. Part of the reason he backs away is because he knows that the Zerg often likes to put a creep tumor down. So he doesn't want to sacrifice his hit points. He wants to be at full life to threaten the creep tumor. If he gets 2 damage, creep tumor can go down. Now, we obviously know it's double inject into 4 queens. He does not know that. And it's only 2 on gas, actually. He didn't rally the third on gas. So this is the classic 2-base roach opening for Serral. It's really good at killing people that build low-ground wall-ins. And the starport is not going to help you against that because he can walk queens across the map or drop them. But actually, he's going Roach Warren even earlier than normal. What is this? Serral is planning an earlier Roach bust than I had even thought. Fascinating. It could just be to defend, since he knows it's gas-first Hellions, I guess. He's going to need to build an evolution chamber in his wall-off, though. I thought he would put the Roach Warren there and then use his queens to wall off. 3 queens will not be able to wall off. The Reaper and the Hellion could do some damage if they decide to dive past. You don't really have anything mobile. You don't have Zerglings. You've only got 4 queens, nothing else. Queen in the main can defend that Reaper. You don't want to pull your queens to it, though. You want to keep him at front to defend the Hellion. And he just sends a single queen to deal with it, and it can jump out down the bottom right. Actually, there's no jump out path here. All the coral is blocking it. Does see the Roach Warren second and third gas. He already saw the lair in the main base, did Clem. He knew that one was started. This does look like a 2-base Roach push. Cloak Banshees and Hellions do not defend this. If I was Clem, I'd be going straight into either extra barracks right now or Cyclones. I would not feel safe at all building more Hellions right now. Okay, he's got 2 Cyclones. Never mind. He did bring 2 of them up front. That's going to help here. There is Overlord speed on the way, so Serral is planning to do the Queen drop plus mass Roach attack. He's forgotten to make Roach speed, though. Either that or he doesn't have the gas for it. Making an Overseer on the front for scouting. Serral's still trying to figure out exactly what's happening. Transfuses on the Roaches, very nice. Pre-Roach speed, Roaches kind of suck versus Cyclones. Assuming the Cyclones are microed at a very high level. Third command center goes down. Yeah, just zero chill. Clem is playing so greedy right now. Zero respect for Serral's opening. Serral, I don't know. Without roach speed, I really think that he thinks he made roach speed, and he never made a fourth gas, guys. He's making a Dropalord right now. But man, without roach speed, that's like the most important upgrade to make this attack work. He's got 500 minerals and no gas. Serral has messed this build up. Serral has messed this build up. He's now getting his Ravagers picked off by the Cyclones. Oh no. I really think this could have been a build order advantage for Serral. And you know what's bad about that? He's going to get frustrated. He's going to get frustrated realizing that he may be screwing up an opportunity to just get a free win right now. Because he doesn't have roach speed. He's still massing roaches defensively. Clem's just killing them for free. And Clem's like, yeah, okay, I'll build a bunker out front. But man, I'm already making like tanks in third command center. I'm both extremely safe and I've got a good economy coming in. I'm ahead on workers versus the Zerg, man. This is like game over at this point, you know? There's still no roach speed, which is wild. Absolutely wild. I imagine Serral's so deep down the chain at this point, he's saying, why don't I just spend the gas on Ravagers? It's too late now. But that early mistake of skipping it is a big issue. Banshee's going to get some nice damage. They kill a roach. There's no Overseer here, guys. They can actually just cloak and fight. He hid cloak up to now. He's going to kill a bunch of these roaches, man. The Ravager has to run away. The Overseer was on the wrong side over there. Trying to drop creep right now so we could do some transfuses potentially. But look at that. Look at the way Clem's splitting him up. He's intercepting the rally, forcing the queens back. Roaches on their own can't attack the front without creep spread and without Ravagers. Yes, a Banshee finally goes down, but he's got multiple tanks, a bunker. He's going to move out and take his third. Serral is starting to drone up, but he has already taken astronomical damage. And look at that. Ravager tries to do the runner. Banshee says nope. Oh, actually, Queen Transfuse barely saves it. Well done. Hellions going to go for a run by as well. There are no units at home. Serral realizes how bad his opening was. He's going to transfer drones into a Hellion run by. Oh, me, oh my. This is a disaster of an opening for Serral. Trying to do a 4 gas build off 3 gas. Does get punished. Hellions trying to dive in right now. Lots of drones falling. 5 workers going down. Make it 6. Even more starting to fall. I love that he's dropping creep down here to deny the third is Serral. But man, this damage he's taking is ridiculous. 12 drones. That's the problem when you're so focused on the aggression. You know you're in such a bad economical position and you just start holding the drone key down behind it. And those Hellions, they slip around the side and they get game-ending damage. I mean, Serral might just rage tap here because this is ridiculous. That is 21, make it 23, make it 26 drones. Oh, I would pay to see Serral's camera right now. He's shaking his head. You know he's like, oh, really? Like, you know, he's like, seriously, man? Probably got some Finnish swear words mixed in as well, I would imagine. Oh no, the Overseer full of energy was clicked on the Banshee and it dies as well. Serral's looked pretty dominant this series and it feels like this build is just not coming together at all. He's trying to make an infestation pit and 1-1 upgrades. Clem's already got 1-1 upgrades. I love that he built a third Banshee as well. It's like, you thought this was done? No, no, no. No. Forgot to say the magic word. He's going to get 2 more Ravagers. Remember, each Ravager, 100 minerals, 100 gas. Very expensive units. Still trying to catch these Banshees with this Dropalord that just can't keep up. 3 more barracks building right now. Clem's third base is going to do a little bit of semi-long distance mining there. Finally able to get rid of that last bit of creep, and he's just going to, okay, mine for a little bit until the creep recedes. He doesn't have a 4th command center, so it's just like a 5-rex marine tank all in at this stage. He's not going to be able to, he doesn't have to stop to clear up all the creep though. He can just push. Combat shields may not be done, but he's got 1-1 in stim. These marines will kick the crap out of these roaches, man. Serral's trying to scare him, but it's like 6 roaches and a Ravager. It's not a scary force. This is why you need to have a decent army out of Zerg, so you can actually run forward and kind of ambush the Terran. He has no chance to do that. No infestors. He's trying to make a Hydrodent so he can get lurkers up. Tanks are marching in on his front door. Banshees are just diddling his drones in the backline. His overlords are exposed. Clem's going to stim in and supply block him if he doesn't watch out. Ravager's trying to morph. The tanks are well spread. The Marines are just going for it. Oh, this is such a good spot to be in for Clem. Nice biles in the middle of those tanks. A little bit too close on the siege up there. Slight mistake for Clem, gets punished. The 3 tanks in the back, though, are slaughtering, not to mention those Banshees that were not being dealt with at the same time. Marines and a Cyclone are still alive on the front line, doing great. +2 armor starts up behind this. Doesn't quite have the money to start +2 attack. Ravager's trying to flank in from the right side. Serral's going for it. He will bile that 1 siege tank in the rear with the bile gear. Another siege tank goes down, but he's still a tank and Marines getting insane value. And Clem just all over it, man. Clem played pretty solid. Getting those early Cyclones, I think, really helps against this opening of SERRAL. And it felt like SERRAL's brain kind of short-circuited when he saw those first Cyclones. He just forgot the fourth gas or chose not to do it. Didn't make roach speed, and it just felt like SERRAL was fumbling all over the shop there. Very well played game by Clem. All right, well, we're going to find ourselves in Game 5. That last one, a bit of a disaster. And we're going into Solaris. Clem in the top right side, representing Team Liquid. SERRAL in the bottom left. Usually it's the final maps in a series that are the most even, the most balanced, the fairest maps between the factions. And interestingly, SERRAL is going for the 15 hatchery, 15 pool opening again. You can see he's done the extractor trick. And he sends his drone down to expand nice and early. I wouldn't mind Clem not SCV scouting this game, though you can kind of tell he's been trying to block a quick third base from going up. So that might just be the plan that he's most confident in. Another extractor trick to get one more drone out. We'll then see an Overlord start into that spawning pool. And this way the spawning pool finishes just at the same time the hatchery finishes. Means you can start those two queens straight away and all that sort of stuff. It just leads to a very smooth opening now. Barracks straight into Gas Geyser. Notice that Clem has queued the worker to mine from the inside. The reason is, notice how these guys can hop in and start mining while he's still hopping off building the refinery. So you basically get him off the refinery, rotate him to the inside, and then you already have the other two workers mining 2 trips before he starts mining it. If you don't do that micro, you end up somewhere between 4 and 8 gas behind, and that usually means you don't have 50 gas ready to start the Reaper. Notice he's got plenty of gas to start that Reaper right on a minute 26, minute 27. So one benchmark you can all look at for Terran players out there who are enthusiasts who think they do a pretty tight opening, look at the time your Reaper pops. So for normal barracks gas build, it should be a minute 58, 1:59 at the latest. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes the SCV finishes building the depot on that side. It might be closer to 2 minutes because it takes a little bit longer to walk from that side of the depot to start the barracks. But yeah, you'll notice a lot of you, myself included, often the Reaper's popping out at 2 minutes and 3 seconds, 2 minutes and 4 seconds, and that's sloppy as. And you'll realize, like, you'll be like, man, why is Clem's Reaper so good? You'll also realize that your Reaper is 5 seconds later than it needs to be. And that's just a kind of funny little impact that a lot of players don't even notice. And I'm talking about pretty damn good players. I'm talking about grandmaster players who sometimes have that Reaper that late. Factory, no second gas just yet. Looks like a 3 command center opening. Standard stuff for Clem. He's going to come in, go after these drones. Well worth it. You can force 2 spore tricks. That's ideal. But remember, he's always conservative here. He doesn't want to give SERRAL a chance to spread creep. However, I would argue, if you know it's a 15 hatchery opening, which you know because there's no Zerglings. There's no Zerglings. They're relying on that quick queen to defend. Then I do think you can get away with it. Now, he's got a drone there. I love that this Reaper is like, hey, wait a second. The other queen coming down. Oh, he actually gets a drone kill. Oh, no. Oh, no. SERRAL tilted after that last game. SERRAL might be tilted after that last game. He's a little slow on that spore trick. And look at this. 2 more spore tricks and a drone kill. And this all delays the third base as well. He can easily get out of here. There's no reason to throw away the Reaper. Yeah. Third hatchery starts up top. Clem, did he realize there was Zergling speed? I'm not sure if he spotted. No, he didn't see the spawning pool. But nonetheless, a great start for Clem. He's got a starport on the way, factory there. No tech lab just yet. You can delay the tech lab if you're planning to make a Liberator, because that's quite an expensive unit. You know, it's kind of funny. I realize I still always try to wait for 150 gas to start the Liberator. I always forget that it's only 125 now. All right. Oh. Nice! The grenade and a Reaper shot, getting that tumor the moment it started when I had next to no hit points. Looks like a Banshee opening for Clem. Very safe, solid build order. There is no threat of queens being dropped this time around, so it should keep him safe. Notice he's not started Cloak, but that's because he doesn't have enough gas. So it's only once he hits 100 gas that you start to kind of go, ooh, is he not starting Cloak? But he's diving right now. Oh, Lings are ready though. Okay, Clem thought he was punishing a greedy SERRAL. But SERRAL actually had a very well-timed Ling speed. For a 15-15 opening, normally your gas is quite late. So I think he was expecting that to not be ready. Only 2 drones. That's going to, I think, equalize the opening a little bit more because you lose a lot of your pressure. And also your Reaper being the unit that self-heals, it's a lot of your poking power is gone. Overlord flying north there. Aliens and the Banshee heading out. Lair is on the way, so SERRAL seems to have a pretty good idea of what's going on. He saw that the depots were late on the natural, which means there is a third command center. But he doesn't want to sacrifice his Overlord just yet. Spore Crawler in each base. 6 queens going on 8 queens in a moment. He's been pretty light on the queens, all things considered, but of course he had extra Zerglings up early, so kind of makes sense. He's lost so many Creep Tumors. They don't show up in the units lost because they were all constructing. If a Creep Tumor is still building, it doesn't show up in the units lost. But he's actually lost about 6 Creep Tumors already. Great plays for CLEM. As his third base floats down. Second and third barracks have gone down. One on the reactor. This one, of course, will swap onto the factory's reactor. Double engineering bay. Fourth and fifth barracks. And, of course, that third and fourth gas has just started mining as well. Great plays so far by CLEM to set up his macro in a clean fashion. He does need to start building depots, though. There we go. The natural wall off is continuing. Gary, their CV depot builder, hard at work. Uh-oh. Crazy move for CLEM. Crazy move for CLEM. The Lings, though, come in. Great reactive spread for SERRAL. Will it be enough, though? The aliens try to slip by. Looks like Queen did get blasted by the Banshees, but the Lings did a great job shutting down the aliens. Only losing 2 drones in total. Yeah, he lost a Queen as well, but no, like all the aliens are gone, man. That's really good. If they invest in 8 Hellions like this, it massively slows down the next step, because 2 Cloaked Banshees and 8 Hellions. Guess what? Those medevacs are starting pretty late in this game. They're not going to start until 6:13. Fourth and fifth barracks is kind of getting up now, but where's the marine pressure? Where's the medevac stim pressure? It doesn't exist. SERRAL has about a minute to just spread creep like mad, get it out as far as he can, shooing these Banshees away very nicely. I'd like to see these tumors keep spreading in the north with his fourth base in the south. I do wonder where he takes a fifth. I'm imagining top left. The Urubu down here does back away. CLEM known for killing Urubus and then losing famous matches. There is a curse. If you kill that Urubu, Urubu, who are you? Urubu, a pox upon you. A pox upon your family name. Oh! That was a changeling, not an Urubu. It's okay. I heard a Banshee attack and freaked out. 1-1's on the way, Baneling speed as well. Macro hatchery coming up. Fifth base in the top left for SERRAL. Creep spread trying to get out in the middle, but now the medevacs and the mines here. SERRAL's got Baneling speed though. Overseer will get taken out. Oh, he's trying to kind of trap him. He's saying, you're coming in a little too deep, mate. 2 Widow Mines do get deactivated. Overseer's on top of it. Good cleanup so far by SERRAL. I wouldn't have minded him chasing and jumping on top of those units in the boosty zone. Ling Bane's very volatile in these little boosty zones. Terran has to be really careful in those. Oh, he's a little close. Not a bad engage there for SERRAL. He's respreading his creep is the most important thing. He's not getting his territory pushed back. Baneling drop getting ready up here in the north. 79 workers for SERRAL. Make that 80. Clem's still trying to poke. He's not really finding much, but he is at least keeping SERRAL's APM occupied. Fourth command center is halfway done. Going to 8 barracks right now. And of course the second factory out here making drilling claws. And +2 attacks starting in a pretty timely fashion. Good to see CLEM a bit more on point with those upgrades. That is the most important upgrade. Don't get me wrong, armor matters against Zerglings, but often Banelings are hitting you, in which case armor does not matter at all against Banelings. Widow Mines get blasted before they can fire. That one not getting a big hit either. SERRAL doing a fantastic job of guarding both sides of the map. He's also got that Baneling drop, which he's kind of forgotten about, to be fair, but give him a bit of time, and I'm sure when he's got the APM, he will send that in. There we go. It's going in right now. You can see it just loaded up on the map. I love that they added this little image to show when a drop gets loaded. Let's go to Clem's vision, see if he notices it. It's on his vision. It's in his vision, but he's not paying attention right now. He's not watching. Let's go back to everyone's camera. He does not see it. Clem reacts a second too late. Already loses 7 workers. Army down here hiding behind the minerals. The Banelings are on top, but he's not watching. Clem loses a double medevac of Marines. Very nicely done there by SERRAL. SERRAL is going for Hydras. +1 range, +2 carapace. He wants to stop the Widow Mine advance with the Hydras. Hydras can get crazy value against Widow Mines because they outrange them. That is exactly what we expect to see here from SERRAL. He's gone for the Augments upgrade. He has not added Groove Spines yet. Baneling drop comes back in, gets another 6 SCVs. Widow Mines do go down. Or take out the drop, I should say. Widowmine is going to hit only a single Zergling. Beautiful spreadies. And oh, the medevac gets shot down by the Hydras. He went too deep. Clem's going to have to micro two sides at once. But SERRAL is the one who's initiating on him. Clem is getting too aggressive. Clem needed to take a breather and just take half a step back to set up these pushes. But he's taking massive damage. All of his Widowmines are going down. The units lost is bad for Clem. His 4th base now in jeopardy. SERRAL just keeps jumping on top. By going first, he's not letting Clem set up on creep. Normally, Clem marches deep on creep, sets up his Widowmines in your face, spreads his units out, and then starts just absolutely raining down death. SERRAL has not given Clem that opportunity. Look at this. He's still got drop defense in his main. He doesn't even need it. He's going to bring those back to the front, and he needs to start just hitting the north with half the army, hitting the south with the other half. I do not think Clem can keep pace with that because he's just lost way too many units. 15 Widowmines and 60 Marines have already gone down. He's only killed 100 Zerglings. He's traded appallingly bad. And once again, look at this. Because SERRAL gets so deep on top of him, none of his Widowmines are getting big hits. They're friendly firing as much as anything else. You need to get your setup going right now as Clem. Widowmine drop comes in on the south, unable to find damage. He's got a little bit of inroads in towards the 6th base of SERRAL, but he's got to find damage, and he's got to do it soon. Hydra's starting to get focus fired, but there's enough Lings, Hydras, and the Queen Transfuses there to make that a very expensive move. Clem's trying to find openings. SERRAL's not leaving any. Any hole is a goal for this Terran player, but SERRAL's leaving him absolutely no orifices unguarded. Takes out those Widowmines with a manual Baneling kind of A move on top of them. And SERRAL's just going to chill for a moment. Still a methodical player. He's got Hydras and Banes there. One Widowmine will fire. Loses 3 drones. Instantly, SERRAL replaces that. Builds 2 drones. Clicks them on the minerals. That is how quick he is. I swear he had finished rallying that before he'd even killed the Widowmine. +2 melee, +2 range is on the way. The Hive is now finished. Banelings! That was a Baneling detonate. He had a borrowed Baneling bomb I didn't even see there. Oh my god, mass Ling assault. The Banshee's trying to pull back from the Hydras. The Lings get a great engage. Nice micro from Clem to stay alive, but that is indeed all he's doing right now. 5th Command Center is there. Units lost tab is still looking rough for Clem. He's in the lead, but only ever so slightly. And being in the lead in the units lost is not good for Terran. Very rarely can you afford to trade evenly with a Zerg. SERRAL's on an 85 worker economy. He's not playing 90 drones. He's not like gonna roll 4,000 Banelings in and have unlimited money, but he's got more than enough. And with Vipers coming in, +3 Carapace is already queued up behind +2 ranged, of course. Seismic Spines, the Lurker upgrades are queued up. He did forget Groove Spines, though. This is actually a big oversight that I haven't pointed out. He has not made Hydralisk range. These are 5 range Hydras when they should be 6 range. It's a very cheap upgrade. It only takes, I believe, 50 seconds to upgrade as well. Changelings on the north going to scout. Clem shutting down those. Does not want to let SERRAL get any free vision. He has taken a breather after those last fights, realizing he's got to stop handing these engagements on a platter to SERRAL. Uh-oh, he's trapped up against the wall. Oh, his unit's taking big damage there. Quite a few of them do go down. He's trying to bring other units north to defend. What I'm so impressed by Clem is he didn't have 2 then. That was a panic situation, but oh god, he's still got a micro on the bottom. Widowmines could get a few good boom booms. Decent boom booms, but the planetary is isolated. It is exposed, and the Banelings will boom boom. Bio does come in for the punish, though. That's a pretty good fight for Clem. Fights like this where you only lose 2 SCVs in a planetary and you chase him down are quite good. He did not notice those Banelings burrow, though, I don't think. SERRAL's still remaxing very quickly. He does actually lose a few Overseers, so he's actually not able to remax immediately. Now he's making more Hydras Lurkers. +3 Carapace is starting. +3 weapons is done for Clem. He has an upgrade advantage right now. He's also got quite a few Marauders. Concussive is finally being remembered as well. One of the few games where he's remembered that. Hydras do come in from behind. Widowmine slowly clearing that up. On the front, Parasitic Bombs land on top of the Bio. The Bio with a beautiful forward spready. Marauders really need those concussive shells. It would make such a big difference in these fights. It'll be finishing in about 15 seconds. The rest of the army coming down. 5th base being retaken by Clem. Dude, Clem was pretty far behind earlier on in this game, but as I said, you cannot give him room to breathe, and SERRAL, it feels like maybe giving him that room. Okay, hold that thought. Lurkers coming in. This is way earlier than he wanted to be dealing with Lurkers. He has to just abandon the base, and that's a factory with a tech lab, one of the few that he has. He doesn't have any tanks right now. He's going to need to deal with that with Libs and Marauders, which are not the ideal anti-Lurker units. Oh man, this is very scary. He's losing a lot of depots right now as Clem as well, so he's got 3 command centers building. He'll be making more orbitals, but he's not ready just yet. He's low on scans. He's got to lift that command center. Okay, he's going to scan. Banshees will come in. I like that he's still got the Banshees alive. These 2 are vets. They've seen some real action and putting in some very valuable support. The Bio comes in a little clump from that left side. He's going to clean up those lurkers, but SERRAL will capitalize on the south at the same time. He comes in, forces the base to lift. That was a full medevac getting blasted out of the skies, and CLEM taps out. I did not think he would give up that easily. I thought we were going to see another 10 minutes plus in this game. CLEM gives up there. He's in a really bad spot. He cleans up the lurkers, don't get me wrong, but look at how much bio he loses. Some of these Marines and Marauders needed to come from the right. So he's a little clumped up. You can see these lurker spines do pretty nice damage. And I think he's just like, look, I know SERRAL's got the whole map. SERRAL's on 6 bases. I'm losing a lot of my army here. My command center is burning. I look back, I lose a full medevac. The command center looks like it's about to die to Hydras as well. He taps out. Who can blame him? That was a tough game. And it started, just SERRAL kept jumping on top of him and ambushing him every time he tried to push forward. I mean, you go back to those first few fights, and he just wasn't quite on top of his positioning. We go to like 8 to 10 minutes is a crucial point in this game. Let's watch some of these engagements again here as we wrap this series up. SERRAL winning the upper bracket round of 4 to go through to the upper bracket finals. Great play by him. You can see there that Widow Mine gets cleaned up. The Marines just have to pick up. These guys also, same thing, way too deep on creep. SERRAL's army was pre-split really nicely, so he's already lost 3 Widow Mines and been forced to pick up and pull his pressure way back from where he wanted it to be. And he's like, well, that's fine, I'll drop the main. But SERRAL's already ready, so he can't really drop that. He doesn't want to drop into Queen and Spore range because then he loses the medevacs. So then he tries to push the front again, but he doesn't have any Widow Mines here. So he's like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll do a 3-pronged pressure. Few Marines in the middle, but he accidentally separates these from the pack. Starts pushing north. And then while he's occupied with all that, SERRAL realizes, wait, you're not watching. Gets rid of all of those Marines, which is huge. CLEM then kind of panics and pulls back with his whole army, just leaves a Widow Mine there. And at no point has he taken a good fighting retreat into his Widow Mines. You can tell he's reorganizing. Banelings come in twice. The Baneling drop kills 13 workers in total. And you can see here, look at this. He tries to run in. His medevacs are way too far ahead of his army. He loses a Widow Mine. He loses a medevac. He loses a bunch of Marines. Gets chased all the way home. His Widow Mines here also get caught away from the army. From 8 minutes to 10 minutes is an absolute disaster for CLEM. He not only loses the workers on his third, he loses all momentum and control over this game. And momentum and control is what Widow Mine bio style is all about. Beautiful play from SERRAL. He had a great opening. He capitalized and jumped on top of CLEM. And CLEM needed to pull back maybe just a little bit or be a little bit more careful with some of these forward pushes. He kept getting caught with his screen in the wrong place at the wrong time. SERRAL, an absolute beast though, does it in style. GG, well played.